Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today it's right before Christmas, so I am excited because guess what? I got my little sleigh. My red sleigh is here and we're coming together. If you saw the last video, you know we did get this panel welded in. All of here was gone. It was fully rotted out and it's now looking OEM. So thank you to Kevin. He did this welding job for me. I did the body work, he did the welding, as you guys know if you follow the channel. But we're moving along. I got some tires back here, so there you go. This is for not the stock wheels that you see on the car today, but these are for the wheels that came with the car. Those wheels were obviously dry rotted, so I gotta change them out. So we got wheels because we mean business. This car is going back on the road. That is my plan. I had the 2GR build that was going and this came in between, and I'm just destined to, or determined I should say, to get this thing running and back on the road. So we're getting closer. Today, I'm going to do a keyless entry install because this car, you're using the key and I don't like that. So I'm going to show you guys how to put a keyless entry in. Very simple. It's like under 20 bucks. If you go on Amazon, you can find a keyless entry similar to what I'm going to put in today. But that's the plan. And then hopefully, once I get that in, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to get this thing started because I got the fuel pump in. I got the panels in. I got the fuel filter. Everything is all hooked up. We just got to start it. So let's get the keyless entry in today. Let me show you what I got. And then the next video, you're gonna see this thing start up. It's gonna hopefully drive on its own power out of my garage, turn it around, and we're gonna get to the other side welding. And then it's really gonna just take off from there. So let's go in the car, let me show you what I got. So here it's Christmas, so I'm kind of rocking the Santa Claus look. So for all you guys, I know you guys thought I was a super young guy. This really shows my age. So I got some gray hairs. But yeah, it's Christmas time, so that's what we're rocking, all right? Let's get to it. Let me show you what I got. So let's move into the cabin. First of all, I want to talk about the fact that I got a floor. I am so happy I got a floor and I got a nice clean carpet. Look at this thing. Looks so nice, so clean. It smells great in here. So that is awesome. But this is a keyless entry that I have. So essentially I bought this model. It's K-Moon. And this was like 18 bucks on Amazon. It comes with the box here, control box. It comes with 2 remotes. And I like this remote because it's very simple. It's just basically open and lock. And it works great. I have it under the 2 cars and just some tools, some pliers, some crimping pliers. I did get this fuse adapter. So what I'm going to do is run power from the fuse panel. Just basically plug this thing in, put a 15 amp fuse. It's replacing the 30 amp that was in there originally. So we're going to get our constant power from this, and then a couple connectors. So little spade connectors here. I have one of these where we're going to tap into the wires that we're going to go in and plug in. And then one of these ring connectors that we'll use to ground the entire system. So again, it's very simple. That's all you need. Again, here's the kit. Comes with the box, comes with the wire harness. So let me kind of talk a little bit about the kit itself and what you need to do in order to get this to work. All right, so the purpose of this video, as I mentioned, is just to get a simple keyless entry into your car. So you're gonna buy this kit. It's gonna come with a control box. It's gonna come with a wire harness similar to this. And the locking system on the MR2 is what they call a negative trigger. So figure 3 right here, negative trigger. So it kind of tells you which wires you need to use. So whatever system you buy, look for the instructions on negative trigger. In our case, if you decide to go on Amazon and buy this K-Moon kit, you're going to use a couple wires here. So first set you're going to do is the yellow wires and the black. All of these, you're going to pin these together and you're going to connect them to a ring connector like this. And these are all going to be grounded. So we're going to find a spot on the chassis that we ground this to. That takes care of these 3 wires. And then all you need is a red, which is a constant 12 volts. We're going to use this adapter that we have here. I'm going to tap it into here, butt connect it into here, and then we're going to plug into our fuse box. I'll show you guys on the chassis in a second. And then there are 2 brown wires. You're just going to pick one of these brown wires. And then what we're going to do, we're going to tap into the light system. So what this does is whenever you press your button, open or lock, you're going to see the flashes on the outside on your rear lights and your park lights, basically on the front and the back. So not only will you be able to see you'll hear the door lock, but you're gonna see the lights click. I'm not using it attached to the horn system, so you won't hear like, modern cars where you hear the chirp, but you can see the visual on the lights. And I kind of like that. It's low key, especially this is a project car. I don't use it that much. So I think this works great for me, right? So that's all you really have to do with this box. All right, so we kind of wind up the angle of the car. So if you come along with me, you're gonna open your driver door and you're gonna take off your kick panel on the side here. So the plastic piece that's here, because you gotta get into the fuse box area, which is back here. So you gotta get behind this little cubby. So however you get to that, again, the car is disassembled in my case. So I don't have to pull anything because I already did, but in your case, you'd have to, you know, pull this little plastic piece up and get inside here. Now, let me take you over into this junction box here. So when you get in, you're gonna see this plug, the one at the bottom. So the first one you see at the bottom, this guy right here is plugged into down here. So you're gonna remove this. And what you're gonna be looking for is the red and black, which is this one, and the green and black. So they're right beside each other. Again, one's here, these two pins, basically this one and this one. But for ease, you just look for a red and black wire, and you're gonna look for a green and black wire. The red and black wire is what triggers the lock. The green and black triggers the open. And I am using these little connectors where it looks like this. You basically put it over the wire, lock it in place, and it basically taps into this wire, so you can put a spade connector like this. Just plug it in once you have your wire attached to it. So, you know, this will all make more sense as I put the pieces together, but you don't necessarily have to have one of these. It just makes your life easier because all you're doing is clicking and plugging and you're done. You could literally clean this rubber protector a little bit off and just kind of splice your new wire in from the kit, solder it, tape it up. It would still work, but why not just get these things, make your life easy. All right, so we spoke about these set of wires. The other two you're gonna need are these white wires. So the white and black and the white wire. So this is gonna be, white is gonna be for your open. The white and black is gonna be for close, basically triggered by the switch over here. And then everything else you just basically zip tight. You're not gonna need those, not for this system and the MR2. So I just kind of zip tied everything here to make it neat. And now I'm gonna take you over to our little cubby box here on the kick panel for the driver's side, which is right over here. And I'm going to show you which wires we're going to tap into what, so you understand what you need to do to get your system to work. I'm going to remove this little bracket since I still have to put the dash in, and I'm going to give you more visibility to see what's happening back here. So this is my little fuse block that I'm going to use to tap in, or fuse wire I'm going to use to tap into the fuse block. The original fuse where I'm going in was 30 amps, and that's just a power supply. At least that's what it shows on the electrical diagram for the MR2. I am adding in a 15 amp fuse because our key system comes also with a 15 amp fuse. So we're gonna tap our power supply from here, and if you go in the fuse box, just look, it's the second one up from the bottom, and all you're gonna do is basically take this in, plug it into your fuse box like that, and you will get power to this wire. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out, now you could go through these, look for constant 12 volts and tap into that. This is just an easier way. Just literally plug in and that's it. And if you need to, you know, remove the system for whatever reason, you're just unplugging stuff. You're not having to cut wires and it's not a mess, right? I use the spade adapter here to tap into the red and black already. I'm going to now tap into the green and black right here. So I'm just going to go in like this. As you can see, just make it go, fit it into this little piece, and you're going to clamp down on it. I did cut back some of this sleeve here just because I don't like to tap into wires too close to the plug, because if I need to fix something, I like to have some room to work with. So again, just gonna go in here, put this in like that, and then I'm gonna press down on this. I use one of my little clamps here to do it, and it's gonna just bite into the wire, and then I'll show you how I test to make sure it did get proper connection. All right, so I use my clamp, as you saw, crimp this thing in, so we can basically use the clip to kind of splice into the wire. Now I like to test everything to make sure we got a good splice in. So I'm going to the green plug here, and I'm gonna put I have my tester on continuity. So I'm gonna put it in here, and then I'm gonna put this in here, and you see I get in that beep. So what that's telling me is this plug has tapped into this line. So I know once I plug in, I'm gonna have good continuity and it's gonna work, okay? So again, just a little safety measure, just so you don't do all of this work and then it doesn't work and you're trying to figure out what's wrong, okay? If I do it on the red one as well, let's see, red and black, that is right here. So I go into this one. There you go. So the red one is tapped in, the green one is tapped in, so we're good to go there. And now I'm going to connect this and some of these wires up with the spade connectors, and then we'll plug everything in. All right, guys, so I just plugged into the fuse box right here. As you guys see, it's in. Now I'm going to test if I have 12 volts. So there you go. That's constant 12 volts for the system. So we know our little tap worked really well right here. So we're good on that front. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go with my white cables, and the white, solid white, is going to go to the red and black. So we're just going to plug in right here. The black and white is going to go to the green and black. So we're going to plug in here. And this is what I was saying. It just makes your life a lot easier when you can just literally just plug in just like that and you're good to go. And then this one, which was the ground, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to try to ground it on the chassis right here. This is where this bracket that I took off. But technically anywhere a good grounding point, you should be able to just ground up. And the keyless entry should work at this point. This is for the light, so we're going to connect the ground first. We're going to test it. If it works, then we know we're good to go. Then we're going to go ahead and connect the light, and I'll show you that. Any job you do, I always recommend before you button everything up, like zip tie everything and put the box in place, test it first. So we're going to plug it in. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and plug this thing in. Now I did disconnect the battery while I was doing this. Technically you don't have to, but I guess it never hurts to disconnect your battery while you're doing electrical work on your car. All right, so I got the plug back into the junction box here. So now a moment of truth. Let's see if, well, everything I just told you guys to do works. So here's my remote. I'm gonna lock the door. There you go, lock, open. Let's look at the other side. Lock, open. All right. So that's it, guys. So this is, again, very simple as you guys saw, not very hard, and again, easy. So now you don't have to go mess with your key on the outside when you're getting into your car. And even if you have an alarm, like technically you can not use the alarm. So, you know, the key on an MR2, it triggers the alarm system. So let's say you have an alarm on the MR2 and you don't want to use it because, you know, if you have an alarm, you know, that key always, it gets messy and sometimes the alarm just goes off for whatever reason. So you can just bypass it with a keyless entry. So this system will work as well, even if you have the factory Toyota OEM alarm system on. So I like it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take my brown wire. I'm going to tap into, basically, I'll take you over there, I'll show you, but where the cigarette lighter, there's a ring around the cigarette lighter, so we get, you know, lights there. So wherever that part source is, which basically connects to our light, I'm going to tap into that. So when I hit this thing, we're going to see the park lights on the outside of the car. Illuminate for lock, illuminate for open. So just a nice little way to add a little extra touch to the system. So let me do that and then I'll show you how it works. All right, so if you're curious where you're going to tap for your light, I mean, obviously there are different sections in the car you can. This is where I've taken any one of the brown wires, and this is the light basically that works. It's going to plug into the back of the cigarette lighter. So there you go. When you turn on your headlights, you'll see that little LED or whatever type of bulb that is. Not an LED, but that little bulb. And the green wire is where basically I just, for the purpose of demonstration, I just kind of tapped the brown wire into the back of it. I will need to splice it into the green wire at some point. But, you know, I got to tidy this thing up. I just wanted to show you guys how to install it. So let's go outside and I'll show you how this works. Where basically once we click this button on the fob, we're going to see the lights on the outside come on. Let me show you that. So here we go. Car is locked. Now I'm going to go over. I'm going to open the car. We're going to see if our park light is going to come on. Boom. All right. And car is open. And there you go. That's our keyless entry installed. I'm going to test it one more time. Close. Car is locked. Light comes on. And there you go, guys. So that's it. Very simple, inexpensive way to put nice. I mean, like, I really like the remote. I think it's pretty cool. But I hope this video helps you guys out. Again, the idea for this channel is if you have an MR2, this is your go-to resource. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like it. If you do and you have friends in the community, feel free to share our videos with them. You know, we're really trying to build a channel. Hopefully can get more subscribers and kind of grow a little bit more for 2024. So with that said, I want to wish you all happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'll catch you guys on the next one. This thing should be driving. Stay tuned.